What is going on, guys? This is Aiden coming at you with a video about GTA 5 Online. This video is primarily just for friends of mine, but I'm going to post it publicly just in case anybody wants it. This is basically just going to be a guide on the Cayo Perico heist. So,
Hello.
first thing that you'll notice is that I'm in a friends only, closed friends session. So this heist is actually entirely playable solo and entirely playable in a closed friend session. The reason that I go closed friend instead of invite only is that I can be a MC president. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start this off. We're going to head over here. We're going to fast travel. This guide is assuming that you've completed the heist at least once. So this will be your second and future. So we're going to head over to Sanchiansky for this particular one. So I'm basically just going to be babbling on. There will be timestamps in the description of the video. And beyond that, we're basically just going to complete it. It usually takes me around an hour to complete the whole heist, and then there's the 10-minute waiting period afterwards in order to get hard mode, which is very important. So a lot of people will tout this as like, oh, $1.5 million every hour. But they kind of neglect that 10-minute necessary end part where you have to just sort of sit around with your dick in your hand.
Goodbye.
So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to scope out the island. Now, this part is probably going to be super boring, especially because I'm just lazily going to be going through this. I'm not going to edit this video or anything like that. I am going to turn it down just ever so slightly because I know that my mic audio is not quite there. We'll do there.
So, the multi-million-dollar question. What impulsive purchase did Mr. Rubio make after we robbed him last time?
So, I'm not going to really edit this very much. So, you're just going to have to deal with me doing the boring stuff, but if you want to... Sorry, I'm just going to wait for him to shut up. Okay. If you want to skip ahead until the scope out of the island, that's obviously totally fine. There are multiple spawns for where this can happen. This is an okay one. Getting ones that are at, like, Palito Bay are the worst. I don't really care about that. So I've turned music off just so that I don't get copyright struck. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time speaking right now. A lot of ums and ahs.
Very good. I have sent you coordinates. Keep south until the air becomes thick with herbs and profanity. Yeah, there should be clothes on board. You switch on the way. And leave your guns on plane. Remember, drug dealers employ smugglers. They do not trust them. Guards find you with weapons. This will not end well.
So, an important thing to do while you're on the plane ride is go to your services tab, Kasaka, return options. Return your Kasaka to the storage. And then you're going to want to do the same with your moon pool vehicle. Now, if you don't have... I'm going to use the Oppressor Mark II, and I'm going to use the Sparrow. I suggest you buy the Sparrow as soon as possible. It will make everything a million times easier. But your first couple of runs, you can do it with the dinghy. It's just going to be a big pain in your ass, and you got to just grind through it 1 or 2 times max until you can get the Sparrow and put rockets on the Sparrow. So after you buy the Kasaka, that should be your main goal, is buy the Sparrow, equip the Sparrow with rockets. All in all, that's a little over $2 million to do that, so won't take more than 2 runs of the heist. Or 1 run of the heist and then a decent sale of one of your businesses. Although for businesses right now, all I have is bunker and counterfeit cash and the nightclub. So you're going to want to gain altitude. It's pretty especially important in this particular little piece, just because when you're above the clouds here, you actually encounter less air resistance. So your plane will move faster once you're up this high, which you can prove by looking at the speedometer right there. You can see. You got your airspeed there. So once we get to the island, first off, I will note that we have the red vellum right now. Once we get to the island, I'm going to follow a, I wouldn't quite say like perfectly particular path, but like there's a few certain junctures that you need to hit properly. There, of course, take everything in this video with a grain of salt. If you find a way that you like doing it better and it works out and it's fast for you, that's good, and do that. I'm not trying to speed run, I'm just trying to be able to grind this at a reasonable pace. There we go, so that worked well. Sometimes that glitches out and you don't hit the hitbox and you have to start the mission over, and that's a big pain in the butt. There are a few buggy spots. So we did have the red vellum, now we have the yellow vellum. And I've always found that a little funny, that your plane can just randomly change colors on you.
Why can't you assholes be on time for once, eh? Arms out, let's go. Okay, wait over there.
Makes a weird moan when he checks you. It's a little disturbing. Find something you like there?
As soon as you
Pablo?
go beyond the airstrip, you must be careful. If guards get a good look at you while you are in the restricted area,
right.
They will know something is not right.
We're going to take the bike.
Thing is to stay out of sight.
One thing that I did hear someone say, which makes a little bit of sense, is follow these red flowers. But, frankly, I don't think that that's really necessary. You can see there's another red flower there. I don't think you need to necessarily care about the red flowers, but you're just going to go over here past all of these. You're going to smoke that for good luck. It's very important, and totally wasn't just a mistake. Then you're going to pop up here. But you want to take any path, really, that's fast for you, that gets you to right here. Now, you can see the guy in the tower, he's looking away right now. To be safe, there, now he turned towards us. So to be safe, you're going to wait him out. Because you only get 2 bikes on this. The one that I just took, and then there's one when you spawn, it's over by the guard on the airfield, and the guard on the airfield doesn't catch you, so he's fine. There, now that that's done, you're gonna drive here, and when you get up, you're gonna wheelie right now. There we go. That's it. So that gets you up here. Now this guard on our left right now, he means that there's gonna be no guard up at the tower, and that the tower's electrical box will be on the ground. So if that guard that was there exists, then the guard up here doesn't exist, and the circuit box is always on the ground.
The signal box could have moved since you were last here, Capitan. Upstairs, downstairs. You will need to look around.
Okay, so this is a simple math equation. So if we look at the symbols that we see here, we've got the X means times 10. Then the square with the line through it means 1. And then you'll have a line with 2 diagonal lines through it. That means times 2. So we're going to multiply each number that we put. So again, usually that takes me much less time, but I wanted to explain sort of the symbols and how they work. So it's all just multiplication. You do the math. It's not hard. So here you're just going to repeatedly tap right on the D-pad. Oh, that's actually a good note. I am going to be using a controller for this just to show that you can. So you're going to search the basement. You can check it out. We got tequila, which is the worst.
In the display case, bottle of Cincemito, antique tequila. So strong you wake up next day with Mexican accent. Diamond encrusted edition too. This will fetch us
And we
the
got
price
no
we
paintings. So, something important here. I've heard a lot of people saying that when you get the tequila, you should just restart it.
need. Getting
But
through
we
the
are
case will be a
currently
challenge. Use the wrong tool and
8
you'll
to
destroy
10
what is
minutes in
inside. I
to
will
the
do
run.
some research.
And if you work it out, 1.5 mil is about 1.5 mil an hour is about 20,000 a minute. So if we were to restart this, we would make on average an extra 1 to 200 grand, assuming we didn't just get tequila again. It doesn't end up being worth it. So just take what you get, no matter what it is, and just do the run. You know, tequila is 200,000 less than bearer bonds, 100,000 less than the ruby necklace. It is a solid 400,000 less than that pink diamond, but you don't get that super often in my experience anyway. I've gotten the tequila more often than anything else. So just run it and be happy about it, because you still make a buttload of money. So, just to circle back to the controller thing, I'm going to be playing with controller. I may use my keyboard a couple of times just for convenience, but I just want to show for like the shooting and the routing that it's all completely possible. So I'm spawning in my oppressor here just to get back to the sub. You can spawn in a sparrow and it'll spawn right there on the road. Totally fine. Doesn't make much of a difference. But I have this, so I'm going to use it. Popular man, apparently. So for this, you're going to want to just land on it and then put it away. Also, obviously, I keep my oppressor in my motorcycle clubhouse so that I can summon it and dismiss it like that. And that's also the reason why I'm an MC, clubhouse owner, club president, whatever. Alright, so, setups. Super important thing. You're gonna want to have the drainage tunnel infiltration point. That's necessary. So we're gonna do the Kasatka for our entry vehicle. So that will be our first setup. It's kind of an annoying setup, but it's not the end of the world. Especially not if you do it the way that I'm going to show you. If you want to be super careful, bring your sparrow to the shore, summon your oppressor, and then use your oppressor for this upcoming little dog fight, because it is better. It does have better missiles and it's more maneuverable. And by better missiles, I simply mean better guiding on the missiles. They home more accurately. So we're just gonna hop in here. I'm gonna use the Sparrow for this just because my oppressor's already on cooldown, and it is faster to just use this if you do it properly, which I do about 95% of the time. There you go. So you want to always target the oh, shut up, Pavel. So you're going to want to target the chopper first. Otherwise it will start trying to evade your missiles, and it does a pretty good job of evading the Sparrow missiles. So you want to target that first, or at least as soon as possible. That way you can kill it before it knows you're there. The boats aren't a threat. Next thing you're going to do, obviously come back here, land your Sparrow back in the sub. What I do is I just mash right on the D-pad as I get close. Now we're actually going to drive the sub. Important note, using the bumper and the analog stick simultaneously makes you turn faster. So this is analog stick only, this is bumper only, this is both. Also, you can only turn while you're moving, I believe. So we're just going to drive until our nose, the bow, the front gets into roughly the middle of the circle. Then we're going to press Y. We're not going to bother stopping the sub. It stops itself if you press Y to get out. Or whatever your get in and get out of car button is on the computer. Triangle on PS4 or PS5 or whatever. But for the remainder of this, I'm just going to be talking about the Xbox controls. Because that happens to be what's in my hand. So now that that's done, I'm going to just toss some armor on real quick. This particular part is one of the few things that I will say, use first person mode. Always. For this part of the mission, use first person every time you do it. Because when you aim your gun and you come around a corner, you don't see things before they see you. That leads to you getting shot repeatedly. So we're going to go into first person for this entire portion. And just replenish our body armor. So sometimes it spawns, sometimes the sonar jammer spawns there. We did not get the lucky spawn this time. That chef will try to knife you. There it is. Health pack in there. So we're gonna walk back and forth. Oh, I just got my 15th hour first person mode. So we're just gonna go the way that we came, just to avoid any further enemy encounters. No sense in wasting that sweet, sweet body armor. Realistically, we can turn back to third person now. If we go in there, there's a crate that has rebreathers in it if you happen to want one. Alright, so now that that's done, we just swim back up to the sub. Now right now, choppers will spawn in 2 at a time. If you defeat them, 2 more spawn.
I hope you're not too tired. There are some very concerned helicopter pilots looking for you.
And that's why we drove the Cayo over. Because now, we're in, no problems. Now we're on to our next missions. So the missions we're going to complete, we're never going to do demolition charges. We are going to do this, this, and this. Plasma cutter is also replaceable with safe codes, depending on what your loot is on the island. So what I'm going to do, and this is a contentious thing. I'm gonna warp over to Vespucci Beach. Now, I'm gonna stay at Vespucci Beach for the rest of the entire thing. And this is debatable. You could move your sub around repeatedly. I just don't care. This is fast enough for me. I usually grind this during the day when I'm doing other stuff, so I'm not super concerned. Like I said, I'm not a speed runner. I'm not trying to speed run this and get world record. I'm just trying to make a reasonable amount of cash to get the things I want. And given that right now I think I'm sitting at, what, 29 million? Yeah, this video will get me to 30 mil, so. And I just bought a fully decked out casino suite.
Such a tool is very easy to trace, and I think you would agree we do not want Mr. Rubio tracing us, yes? But I have a solution. Mini Madrazo has given us lead, a gang planning very intricate robbery. They have plasma cutter at their safe house, and we know where it is. Full ahead, Capitan.
So there are two ways to do this. There's either you can use the oppressor, or you can use the Kasaka Karuma combo. I should be over here.
You know, Capitan, from the moment you entered my submarine, I knew I had found a kindred spirit. Someone who had climbed the mountain just to see if it could be climbed, yes? And more important... Well, I do not hear any brains being blown out, so they are not there? They must have begun the job ahead of schedule. Try to find some clue to the location, plans, drawings, coordinates, anything. Send me the photograph.
There we go.
Reference.
Alright.
Just what I needed. This will only take a moment. There they are.
So we're going to use the oppressor this time. The way that you do the Sparrow Karuma method is you just park you go to this location, you park your Sparrow a few blocks away, summon a Karuma, hop in your armored Karuma, drive over, kill the dudes, steal the thing without getting out of the car, then drive back to your chopper while they're chasing you. It's super easy, but you do have to be a little bit quick to make sure that they don't shoot you while you're getting in your chopper. But it's a perfectly viable strategy for getting the item in a safe way. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to swoop in. We're going to miss our package 2 times, 3 times. There we go. Alright. More like Semper Fi.
Just get it back here and watch your back.
That was funny and unscripted. Okay, so yeah, we've got our plasma cutter. Now we're just gonna head back to the Kasaka. In the meantime, gonna just return that. You don't want to leave that sitting there because it can't roll off into the water. And then that costs you 10 grand. So we're going to do our next one. I just do them in order because I don't really care. This one I always use chopper for, which is why. So when you summon your oppressor, you have a cooldown on it when you summon and dismiss it. So what I do is I try to alternate missions so I make sure I don't use the oppressor on a mission where I'm gonna want it on the next one. So this one I don't really care about using it, so I never bother on this one.
Our only chance is to acquire Mr. Rubio's fail-safe device, which can reconstruct his fingerprint in case of emergency. This and only this will allow us to hack the system. And to get it, we will need to find the mainland archives of his head of cybersecurity. Start by going to the GPS coordinates I have sent you.
Now, it might just be me, but on this particular mission, I have tried shooting out the cameras. And I've tried shooting out the electrical box. Neither of these things have functioned properly for me. So I don't bother doing any of that shit. I run in, and then I just spray with my shotgun.
I told you. Now the security team will be ready for you when you go inside. It will be guarded in there. You avoid the cameras, you keep element of surprise, yes?
Now, for this hack,
they have seen you. It will be safer not to leave witnesses. Find the computer. We must get inside.
Don't bother with the left and right. Just press A.
Security is in serious need of updates. This would never happen at Russian government troll farm.
I've literally never messed that up in my life. I have no idea why I did there. There we go.
Good job. We have the location of the archive. Now let's go.
Alright, so that's done. Password's always the same. It's Panthers, and then... But yeah, you can move the thing left and right. I don't see why you would. Just press A when the red letter comes in and do them sequentially. There's no sense in thinking about that particular hack. It's pretty... I will make the caveat, I don't think I mentioned this yet, this particular run will take us more than an hour, probably, just because I'm explaining things, I'm not trying to rush it. We're about 27, 28 minutes in right now. I went way too far there. Okay, let's...
You are approaching it now. Watch out, this place will also have CCTV.
Now this one... I do know that nothing bad happens if you do destroy the cameras. I've not tried not destroying the cameras. Maybe that's a thing, but it doesn't take me long to destroy them, so I just do it. There's no reason to tap A to sprint in here because you can't full sprint in this room. So just hold it, give your thumb a rest. It's always on this desk, or this desk. So if you just do a circle there, you'll pick it up.
Get it out of there, quickly.
It's never on any of those first 3 rows. There we go. Now it's back to the Kasaka. Provided our Sparrow gets us there, which it should. It's real easy to get this thing smoking just from landing it harsh a couple of times. Oof. I should turn long shadows on. So we made it, no problem. So all in all, we're about maybe 29 or 30 minutes in to the run. have the cutting torch and the weapon loadout to get. So let's do cutting torch. Now this is one of those ones where I would use the oppressor, but I want the oppressor for my next mission especially. Which hopefully we get the good mission for. Is the next one, so I'll talk about the next one. So with this, there's multiple construction sites that you can get. I think we got the one downtown but not high-rise by the looks of it.
You will find these at many construction sites. Of course, these days, you will also find armed security at many construction sites. Apparently, the citizens of Los Santos have a habit of stealing such things.
Yeah, well, maybe if Los Santos would open up a fucking hardware store.
Equipment such as this will not be lying around in the open. You will need to search toolboxes and such. And you can practice clandestine maneuvers on the guards, yes. Or find a hard hat and keep your head down. Well, judging from the shouting men in the background, you have been detected. A different kind of practice then.
I don't really care. I'm just gonna... Okay. Okay. So, now that that's over with, you're looking for the blue thing in the toolbox. God damn. So the cutting torch is probably one of the most annoying to me because I just, for whatever reason, I can't memorize where all the fucking toolboxes are. I just have like some sort of toolbox related cognitive dissonance or something. So I'm constantly running around. There it is. It's literally right there. Alright. So grab that, sprint back to your chopper before the assholes get here. Oh, that's not good. Bye. So, it doesn't really matter if you get shot. All that matters is get out.
Ours is a strange business, Captain. We work so hard to get new weapons, vehicles, equipment, and then afterwards, we destroy it all.
There we go. And this brings us to our final setup. Which again, hopefully we get the good setup for. We're hoping for the downtown skyscraper setup and not the Merryweather setup. Because the Merryweather one is just ass. Got it 4 times in a row. So, weapon loadout. First thing we're going to do, we're going to buy suppressors. Then we're going to go for the conspirator loadout because it works. We got the Merryweather setup. That, again, is the suck setup. It's the one that takes roughly a year and a half to complete. But we'll do it anyway.
We leave behind a single piece of the jigsaw. Mr. Rubio will finish it. You know one of the great benefits of private sector military. Always fresh supply of cutting-edge, unregistered firearms. Group called Merryweather are running a training exercise with new weapons somewhere. I do not know where. We start at their base. See if there is someone we can follow.
So if you really didn't want to do it, you could go over here and just blow up the chopper, or you could just click find new session and get into a new session and retry the mission until you get the one you want. I've done this quite a few times now, so I don't know, I just roll with the punches and do whatever it wants. I've also tried before finding new session, and sometimes it does. Sometimes it switches which mission you're doing, but sometimes it just chooses Merryweather over and over and over again. And so, in my experience, you might as well just fucking do it. Now, important here, you're not going for him, you're going for the marker.
Is busy tonight, but that looks like Merryweather chopper, yes?
This causes the most oblivious chopper in the world.
In my use, I would use personal weapons on operations such as this. Let me tell you, my late 20s were a turbulent time for this reason. I learned my lesson. Nothing personal, nothing with receipts, nothing with history. Everything new, everything clean.
So now you're gonna follow this guy forever.
You know, I almost feel sorry for these Merryweather people. Even in Russia, we have saying, will you go to market, or will you just steal it from Merryweather?
That's a pretty funny line. It's one of the only good things about this mission. Yeah, whatever. Let's throw that on too. Catch up to this guy. This guy goes pretty slow. I think they made it this way so that if you happen to be following him in a car, it's not impossible. That's aight. I do wish that he was much faster, though. You know, Long Shadows is not doing what I wanted it to do. Still seeing things draw. It's probably extended distance or something. Either way, I don't have my graphics jacked up, just because I do have a 144 Hz monitor, so I like to have the frame rate a little bit above 60 at least. You know, somewhere in the 100 range. And I'm also running it at 1440p on a GTX 1080, so not the most powerful card you can get nowadays, but suits me just fine for now until the 3080 comes into stock. I'm still getting used to running the oppressor. So forgive me if there are nuances to flying it that I'm not aware of.
Let's see what they have for us inside the Avenger.
So for this particular spawn spot, I like just tossing my oppressor right here. Just parking it there for now. For the office version of this mission, I just run the, I land on the roof with the oppressor.
So, good news, we have the weapons. Bad news, you appear to be flying. And even more bad news, when this thing lands, there will be a small army to greet you. I suggest a more direct route to the ground.
Perfect.
Perfect. Now bring the weapons back.
Alright. So, another thing that you can do here, and actually I'm going to do it this time, is I'm just going to... I should have done this earlier. I'm going to return my Kasaka to storage. I'm going to hop down in here. I'm going to wait for it to despawn. So I'm just mashing A right now. There we go. And then we'll wait for that to spawn in near me. Alrighty, there we go. There we go, and that's the last of the setup missions in about, what, 42 minutes-ish? From the time that we started the first mission?
We have all we need now, yes, Capitan? We go at your command.
Alright, so now we have everything done. We're not going to do any of these disruptions, because fuck that. So now we're going to start. So we're going to use the Kasaka, we're going to use drainage tunnel, main dock, daytime, double check suppressors. Without suppressors, everything goes to hell. Because we didn't do any of those disruptions, meaning that the guards are at max health. It's as hard as it can be because we're on hard mode. So, this is one of the few times that I'm going to use the keyboard, and I'm just going to hold shift right now. Just because I don't like tapping A bunch to get over to the grid.
I will also access compound CCTV once you are inside. You know what I like about you, boss? You're never afraid to return to the scene of the crime. Even if it involves underwater drainage pipe. It's just up ahead.
Now, once you get close to all of this underwater up here, your frame rate will almost certainly take a shit for a moment. Just right about here, usually there's a big frame dip. It's just sort of an unoptimized little spot.
Alright, see you in maintenance room.
So switching back over to my controller exclusively, I just don't like rapidly tapping A for that long. You can do this in multiple ways. You can do it like I just did there, or you can do the try to stop it on each one, or you can do the quick swipes. But I prefer just doing the slow, steady.
Excellent. Did I ever tell you about the sewers in my hometown? It was there I first decided to join the Navy. Perhaps it will have the same effect.
So, disclaimer, there are totally faster ways to get through the compound from this entry point. I try to balance speed and safety. I want to be able to reliably get out of the compound every single time, or at least most times. Can't say every single. I do get caught once in a while.
You did not get sucked into a turbine. I knew you'd be fine. How likely is it I have two operations in the same way, huh? Now, we'll look for the vault. Maybe start in the central building.
This guy, you need to focus a little bit, because you want to hit him while he's moving.
You're in the area where Mr. Rubio's personal bodyguards operate. These men will know every soldier under their command. No disguise will fool them.
I never miss that shot, but today, because I'm filming it, of course. Guy on the left doesn't matter, don't worry about him. There's this guy. He's gonna stop in front of the door somewhere. If you're playing just you don't need this, so don't bother. Same with keycards. You don't need keycards during this at all, so don't bother. There is a glitch to get into the keycard rooms. I wouldn't suggest it, though. Rockstar's been known to reset characters that have done glitches that result in them making money. So I just don't bother. Always open this safe. There's between 50 and 100 grand there. You got 74 this time, that's fine. This is important. This will show you layers. On the first print, the first 4 layers are messed up. The layers are sequential though. So if you find that, find the top of the fingerprint, 1 over. Top of the fingerprint, 1, 2 over. Top of the fingerprint, 1, 2, 3. So the layers are actually in order. It's super duper easy.
You can also find the key.
So it looks like it's a scramble. It looks like it's a puzzle. It's really not. It's just once you know how the algorithm works, it's super duper easy to do them quickly. This should take you almost no time. Well, realistically, it takes like a minute and a half. There we go. So we did it in a minute. Minute 3 if you include all the different animations and stuff. Now, this is another important thing, and I am glad that I got the plasma cutter instead of the safe codes to show you this. You would think that the fastest way to get through this glass is to hold it at a steady heat near the top. It is not. You're going to do that until it gets into the red zone, let it cool, go to the red zone, let it cool, red zone, let it cool, and one more time. That's the fastest way to do it. It's stupid, but there it is.
When you get it back to the sub, unless you want to, in which case I will bring the caviar.
So now we get to we get to go be thankful that Mr. Rubio is an equal opportunity employer. I'm just gonna wait for this guy down there to pass. It's gonna take a bit, but luckily these guys are deaf and nearsighted.
Extra guards just arrived. Be careful.
I probably could have gone, but I'm just gonna wait for this guy anyway. Just because, like I said, safety over speed. As long as I'm going fast enough to do the Elite Challenge, and I average 10.5 minutes on the finale, so. We're gonna just do this, and then we're gonna come over here. We're gonna say hello to this guard here, who's thankfully nearsighted. And then we're going to forget where the exit door button is, even though we've done this like 20 times. Oh, right, the button. The button. I always forget the button.
Well done. The compound is done. The only thing left to do is escape.
Now you may be thinking, why not grab that motorbike? It's because there's another motorbike up there. Always reload here. You're going to want to reload for this specific encounter, which, believe me, you can get a lot closer than you think you can. So just in case you need to spray the second guy down, you want to have a full mag. Keeps happening because you keep buying nice shit, Rubio. We're going to go here, through these, through here, through there, take a left, go through these small bushes, stop at the boat. Hop out.
You made it. Now, see if you can find the boat.
Now Rubio's chopper's coming, so a perfect way to avoid it is we're going to go in here. We never needed the bolt cutters because we have the cutting torch, because we did the drainage tunnel entrance. Now we're just going to click this a bunch. We did not get lucky on the drop here, so hopefully we get lucky on the next one. If not, we're going to need to make a little detour.
It pays to be selective with your looting. If it is too heavy, it will slow you down, perhaps too much.
Don't worry about them, they're not guards. And for some reason, they don't warn the guards. Should have fostered better employee relations, Rubio. I'm seeing what? Cash or weed in there? It's hard to tell. Yeah, these are both weed. Alright, so that's good. So I'm not going to go to the other place, but I will say the other place is right here. It's this building here. There's a guy who walks around behind it, around here. You must kill him because he has X-ray vision and can see you through the walls of this. So you basically just run, kill these two guys here, run here, kill a guy here, run up through here, probably kill another guy, then kill the guy circling here, and then go in here and grab whatever's there if you want to fill up your loot bag and it's not full yet. Again, we're going to reload. We're going to try to get headshots on both of these guys. There we go. Now we thank this man over here for his nearsightedness and deafness in not hearing any of those shots or seeing those two men die. Make sure pistol 50. Now, if you want to get out completely unseen, you can kill this guy before getting in the boat. Or you can just sort of pop.
Capitan, I do not want to worry, but there is something out there. Long-range scanners are picking up something big. On the surface, from movement patterns, I would say it is... Never mind. It is an old friend of mine.
I have no idea what he's talking about when he says that. Is he talking about you, the player, or is there some joke I'm not getting? Get at me in the comments if you know. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. But that's the entirety of the finale, and frankly, the entirety of the Cayo Perico heist. We're looking at about 55 minutes for all of that, and then we've got about a 10-minute wait afterwards, which in total is going to bring us to about an hour and 5. We could have done it faster, so we probably could do the whole thing, including the ending waiting period. We probably could get that down to an hour pretty easily, especially if we got lucky and didn't get that Merryweather mission where you have to tail that guy for a good 5 minutes. So with the worst possible loot, we still managed to get nearly 1.4 mil. Now, I keep on talking about the 10-minute waiting period at the end. So, in order to get hard mode on the heist, you need to start it while Rubio's still pissed off. So there's a sweet spot where he's still pissed off, and if you start the heist in that amount of time, you're able to do it on hard mode, which gives you a cash bonus of 10% on the primary target. So with the tequila, we just made an additional 90 grand that we wouldn't have. Boom. There we go. So the way to do that is you gotta wait for the second text from Pavel. So he'll text us in just a moment here. The first one saying, "Oh, good job. I love you. I want to be on your sub forever." And we'll appreciate him for that. And then he'll text us again when Rubio's calmed down enough to hit him again. But the hard mode timer expires after, I believe, 48 minutes, which is a full in-game day. So in the meantime, I like to re-armor, re-ammo if I need to, but I frankly don't. And then if you're in a public lobby, you can do a sell mission from your arcade's master control terminal. So there's Pavel's first text. I'll be in touch when the cherry has grown back for us to take another bite. Don't know how I hadn't found that one yet. Oh, people. Yes, run. You should be running. I don't really want anything in there. So I'm basically just going to mess around for the next few minutes until Pavel texts me. I'm not really going to be doing anything or talking about much, so if you want to head out, I understand. Certainly thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button. Feel free to subscribe for maybe more content eventually. Who knows? Maybe if this gets views, I'll fucking make some Grand Theft Auto content or something. You can see here my my lovely, lovely office. But yeah. So once Pavel does text you back, you've then officially, after starting the next part of the heist, or rather paying for the re-up of the heist, at that point you've completed a full rotation. So don't think that the finale is the end of your rotation. Starting the next heist is the end of your rotation. And you don't need to go and do the gather intel, you just need to pay the money. Also, I'm not if you can wait inside your sub or if you have to wait outside of your sub. I always wait outside. So in the meantime, let's blow ourselves up. Alright, let's call Moore's there. Figure I'd give you something for sticking around.
Morse Mutual. We're here to help. I think we can handle that.
So in the meantime of this, you can always do a job. It's great if you want to sell a business and you're doing like the solo public lobby glitch. Not that I condone that or use that in any way. Wink, wink. Don't reset my character, Rockstar. But yeah, if you want to do that, then that's fine. Just run a quick sell mission. I will say that if you only resupply once on any of your businesses, it's a one-person sell, making it super easy and good. And then for your nightclub is always a one-person sell. And that's what happens when you look away for a moment while you're driving a motorcycle. Never do that. That's not what I wanted. I wanted Sanctus, not Sanchez. That's just... That also didn't work at all. I was hoping the bike would go flying and I wouldn't. That's the one. Here's my yacht. This is a pretty boss bike, I like it. So if you do happen to have any questions, definitely get in the comments. Feel free to ask. But again, this video was mainly meant to just give a couple of friends of mine some instructionals, so they will hopefully enjoy it. I dedicate this one to you, bros. I'm just kidding, I don't. But it is primarily made for you, so I guess in a way I also do. Also, Pavel, if you could just fucking text me, my dude, that would be absolutely wonderful. Because then I can end the video. Instead... Do-do-do-do. Yeah, I know they're out of supplies. I haven't upgraded them yet, so I don't care. So you can see what I mean about the tracking on the missiles here not being quite as good as the oppressors. Also, the Sparrow is ridiculously fast. It's a very quick heli chopper. You do have to be careful though, because you lose the elevation at top speed. Just make sure not to, dip into the water, roll yourself over. There it is. Okay. So now we've finally gotten the text from Pavel. And we're at about an hour and 8 minutes-ish, I think. So, after Pavel texts you the second text telling us that things are calming down, and he's in a panic room with a drug-induced state of paranoia, you come over here. Setup is 25 grand, and this will set the heist into hard mode. Now you can just log off for however long you want. It'll stay in hard mode, which is indicated by the red planner screen and the bottom right where it says hard mode active. But you don't need to do anything now, and it won't time out of hard mode ever. So there we go, and that's everything that you really need to know about the Cayo Perico heist. I hope that you did enjoy the video. If you did, click the like button. Oh my goodness. That was an awful attempt at an outro. I'm going to just start the whole ass thing over. Alright everybody, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, click the like button. Feel free to subscribe for more content, maybe eventually if this video gains traction. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks for coming by.